I'm not even going to say that this is not going to be another, you know, glazing video for Expedition 33 because this will be. Expedition 33 is one of, if not the best single player game I have ever played in my life. And to be fair, just a little bit of background about the type of games I play. I used to, when I was way younger, play a lot of single player games. I played like Tomb Raider, Metro, just like all random. I played even a little Assassin's Creed. I think I played Black Flag, which wasn't really that good. I was young at the time. I don't really remember most of the games I played. But one game stuck with me, which was Skyrim. And it seems like it's a bit different genre wise. And, it's very different from Expedition 33. But I want to talk about like the way the game makes you feel. And this is such a big thing for me because I remember after Skyrim, I actually didn't play a single player game, and that was in 2017 until now with Expedition 33. After Skyrim, I went more in towards the competitive FPS games like Overwatch. I played, a little Fortnite, whatever, Apex. I played a lot of that. And when Expedition 33 came out, I thought maybe I'll give it a try because the game looked very interesting. I Even though I haven't played a lot of single player games, I always make a conscious effort to not look at spoilers or anything like that when it comes to games that I might play in the future. So I didn't really see anything about the game. All I saw was that the game is good and that it's made by an indie studio and they were like ex Ubisoft employees or something like that. So that's all I knew going into the game. And let me tell you, from as soon as I loaded that game up with the prologue, with just as soon as I saw the ambience and the way Lumiere looked at the beginning scenes and just the music and everything, I'll get into that music later on, but it just hits and it gives you the feeling you get immersed. A lot of these single player games don't do it for me just because you don't get that immersion, you don't feel lost in the world. You don't like get lost in the world, like you're always aware of the time. When you play a game and you're aware of the time and oh, I've been playing for an hour, I've been playing for 2 hours, the game is not doing its job and making you lose yourself and just be lost in the game and enjoy it and just explore the world and be fully immersed. And from the beginning, that game did that to me. I remember like grappling after Mael introduced that grapple thing to me. And then when you fight Mael at the beginning, it shows you how the combat works. I was a bit skeptical with, turn-based combat, but I I've actually enjoyed this, I think, a lot more than if it was like a hack and slash type of combat, or maybe like a Souls-like combat with, all the Souls-like stuff that comes with it, right? So I enjoyed this a lot, and I would play games. I mean, if they were as well made as this in the future, if they have the same combat system. And just to wrap it like apart about the ambience, because I really want to explain what I mean by that. Skyrim gives you the feels. You load up Skyrim, you go on top of a mountain, you look at the world, and you feel it. You feel the game. You feel it alive. And even though it's an old game, even if you play unmodded, which I've never played Skyrim with mods, so I always play with like old graphics that don't look too great, and the world is alive, and you can feel it. And that's what I felt with Expedition 33. Everything from map design, level design, world design, flying waters is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And the area called Yellow Harvest, I've had the song, like the theme song for that area, on repeat for like the last 3 days. As soon as I went into the Yellow Harvest, I was just doing exploring. I wasn't even doing any main story at the time. I was just exploring, finishing some side bosses I didn't finish, or just seeing what I missed. And I went in, and the music starts playing with the humming, and you just get lost in the world. You get immersed. You start looking around. You look at the plants, look at the sky. You see the beauty. You see all the detail. For an Unreal Engine 5 game, which I'm gonna make a video in the future about this. I hate Unreal Engine. I don't think it's a good thing for gaming. We'll get to that later. And so, obviously, technically an indie company and an indie studio. This is the first game, and there are like 30 developers. So, of course, Unreal Engine is great for them. So my expectations are usually a bit low with Unreal Engine games because of what we've seen with most games that release. But with this game, it's amazing. All characters felt so unique. Lune, her combat system, so unique, and her story is so good. Sayel, she seems like an underrated character, but her story is so tragic, and she always seems like such a happy character and upbeat person the whole time. She's like the life of the party in the group, and even though they gave her a really dark story with her losing her husband, she like you get connected to these characters. Obviously, Gustav, he's the go, you know. Um, yeah. So when this part came and Gustav died, I was really hurt. Um, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. The game just I felt the game and it was so special, so special, and that leads me to talking about the music, and this is what sums up all the things I talked about when it comes to the ambience and feeling the game. Music is such a big deal. To this day, I still load up Jeremy Soul's soundtrack of Skyrim all the time. Like the White Run, whatever they're called. Sometimes I just go in and just type Skyrim Tavern music and just listen to it. I love it. You feel the world through the music. And composer, sorry, I forgot the name right now. He has done an immaculate, may I say, job with the music. It sounds absolutely beautiful. If you heard it, not knowing it's part of a game or anything, you would be impressed. This is not like, oh, it's good for a game. This is good music. This is amazing music. And I've been listening to it just, on my commute to work and just, chilling. I'd be listening to it and it's in my head all day. Yellow Harvest, something like the campfire, fire camp or whatever version of the Lune song. This song, I would go and, in the campfire when you go and talk to the characters, I would just spend a bit longer talking to Lune just to listen to this masterpiece. It sounds amazing. And the music sounds amazing. And just the way it hits, that Renoir battle, the second one, when that music just hits, it just sounds so epic. You feel like it's the coolest thing ever. I knew that song would just, it just stayed with me. I played it on repeat for a full day. And when we fought Renoir again, it was the same music, but it was like elevated, more epic, more intense. What they did with the music is nothing short of insanely beautiful and special. And these are the things that matter. When it comes to games, you can have a fun game, like interesting story, whatever. That's important, but it's usually the little things that gets you that immersed in the game and gets you obsessed over the game. When you play a game and you just want to talk to everybody about it, that's how you know the game did it right. It's kind of like the GTA effect, I call it, because GTA is a good game. Story is good, but what makes GTA and what makes GTA so good is the details, the little things, the fact that you can interact with things, the fact that in you could play mini games in arcades or whatever. The GTA is the master of the little things, and this is what games need to understand. Is you could have all the graphics, the RTX, the blah blah blah. Usually it's unoptimized anyways, and you can't even use it unless you're running a NASA computer, or you use DLSS, which I really don't like using. But it doesn't matter how many buzzwords you have in a game if you don't make me feel the game and love the game and be obsessed with it by music and ambience and the storytelling. It's not even about the story itself, it's how you tell the story. Are you like making me wait too long before you give me another story, or is it like too lackluster? Is it a bit confusing? Is it all over the place? All these things matter so much more than these developers or publishers want to realize, which is which makes this game so impressive that it was done by 30 super talented developers at the beginning. I think they expanded later on, but it it just it makes it even better. But it's not good like, oh, it's good for being done by 30 people. No, this is game of the year. This is my vote for game of the year. I mean, I can see no other game that could even reach the way this game has impacted like everyone, in the sense of just the force of everyone talking about that game at once, everyone playing it, and a lot of like all of these streamers, favorite YouTubers are all playing this game, talking about this game. There's something behind that. It's not just because they want to support a small developer team like the underdog. No, because a lot of people now, like mainstream journals and all that, they're like not well mainstream when it comes to gaming. I'm not talking about mainstream, but uh, they're making it seem like indie studios are like a oh, it's like a negative thing. They're not professional. I don't care. I just want a game to play that's good. If you can do that, if you can give me a good game to play that I can feel immersed and enjoy it and get lost in, I will do that. I will play it and I will enjoy it. I don't care who made it, even if it's just one person. You know, I literally played this game for close to 12 hours on the final like part because I just really wanted to finish it. I well, you know when I really like a game, there's always that dilemma of I don't want it to end, but I want to know what happens at the end. So it was that case where I kind of wanted to play the game for a long time, and I didn't want to just finish it, but I wanted to know what will happen. I wanted to know what's causing all this stuff in the world. Again, I said there's spoilers, but I don't want to spoil too much, even though I said there's spoilers, because maybe some people, you know, wanted to take the risk or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, it's I was in that spot where I just did not want to wait, but I didn't want it to end. So I played for, I think a week or something, 5 days or whatever, something like that. And then on that last day, I was at like 20-hour mark, and I just did it. I was like, you know what? I played for 4 hours. I was like, you know what? I can keep going. I want to know what happened. And there hasn't really been a game that done that for me in forever because there hasn't been a game that grabbed my interest like that, for me to play it. And I want to talk a bit about the story and how they chose to tell the story because the way they did it was so interesting, and I loved the campfire parts where the characters would talk to each other and you'd find out more about the characters, especially when we got introduced to Verso. I wanted to know who is Verso. Why is he like talking to Renoir like that? There was a lot of things that you just did not know that going to the campfire and talking to the characters and interacting and spending time with them helped you understand more about the world and about the game and about the characters. And I like that they gave you an incentive to unlock like gradient attacks, um, because a lot of people will ignore the lore stuff and they just want to play the game and all that. So doing it like that kind of not forces you. I mean, you don't have to use the gradient attacks, right? But it gives these type of players that want to focus on being strong and building like the really strong characters also an incentive to learn about the characters, which is a very nice touch because the story is so good and it's so unique. Like, I remember when I saw Alicia and Renoir, I was like, who is that? That Renoir guy kind of looks like Gustav. Maybe it's like Gustav from the future. I was wrong. I was kind of thinking, not the future, but it was like a different world. I was thinking in the right realm. And I did feel like Alicia could be Ayel. And I was wondering. And they never really gave you answers until like the very end. But they would give you hints. And these hints would get you closer. Like every time we get a little hint, we're like, okay, I think I'm onto something here. I think maybe, you know, Verso is actually Miles' brother because the way he cares and the way him and Renoir are, you know, there's always, oh, you bring her here, or when he said, I knew you'd open the door for her, and there's little hints. The way they tell the story is so good, and and for someone like me, I'm usually actually not very good at following stories. I just get distracted and I just get lost. Even though this story was really confusing because of two worlds, two different versions of the same person, but these versions merged, so their memories are close, or like that they have they share memories. It's very confusing. But the way they told the story of like feeding it to you slowly, but not too slow that you get bored, was perfect. The way they did it is so good, and I love the fights with Renoir when he would like talk. The voice actor for Renoir is amazing. Renoir's voice is so good. And you know this thing. Renoir has a walking stick. They did this thing where every time his walking stick hits the floor, like there's like this heavy thump, like bass sound. It kind of it gives you that. I mean, Renoir is the aura king, right? But it gives you that little oomph. You're scared when you see Renoir. Like you're terrified because he is so strong, and it kind of makes you feel like such a heavy unit, and made it where every time you face him, you're like, well, I know he's gonna fuck me up this time. But like I said, the theme for fighting Renoir was so good, I did not care about dying 10 times trying to kill him. I was more than happy to do it. I get to listen to this masterpiece again, sign me up. I'll die on purpose. I don't care, you know? So actually, my game crashed after finishing like fighting Renoir for the second time, but the cutscene wasn't over yet, so the game didn't save, and I had to fight him again. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll do it. I mean, I'll listen to the song again, and I was happy about it. So, this just goes to show the music is beautiful. It leads us to the combat, though. The combat, I was skeptical, like I said, but like I said, it's amazing. I love the parry mechanic, and they kind of nailed the audio cues for not for knowing when to parry. They did that right, but it's still very difficult if you play on like the higher difficulty. But the audio cue of when you parry is so addicting that you just want to parry. There was a boss. I didn't do the parry only boss where you just parry him until it gets tired. I still didn't do that. But there was a boss. I don't remember the area, but you just had to parry it a lot until you broke it, and then you can attack and then go back to parrying, parrying, parrying. That boss, like, technically it's an annoying mechanic to just like not get a turn. But the sound of the parry, like the sounds of the game really well made. A lot of sounds of like weapons, they feel really good. The like when you hit the skill check of the attack, there's a lot of these like audios that make the combat feel more alive for a turn-based game. By the way, I've never really played a turn-based game other than Raid Shadow Legends, if you want to, if you want to count that. But obviously, I knew this game wasn't gonna be like that. But I didn't play Final Fantasy or anything like that. So, but I knew, like, yeah, I enjoy my Raid Shadow Legends, my guilty pleasure. But I wouldn't really want to actively play a game like that. But then, because it's not active, just click auto play or whatever and it does it for you. But that game is not like that at all. And I actually played like the first almost half of the game, not understanding anything about Pictos and Lumina, and I got along fine. You know why? Because I would just learn how to parry and just kill the boss. I just learned the attack pattern and kill it, and I had like 400 health for the first third of the game, which is just definitely not enough if you want to not parry and do it like purely as a turn-based game. It's definitely not enough because if it was like that, you just have to like stack up. But yeah, the way they did the combat was amazing, and I actually look forward. I think there might be a sequel just because of the way they hinted at the story ending. Um, Maybe it would like Leah or Cleo, basically Alicia's sister. I'm not sure. Some people are saying there might be. I look forward to it. I look forward to whatever this studio does. Sandfall, interactive, beautiful, beautiful game. Beautiful story, beautiful music. I would like to experience it for the first time again, even though I'm probably not gonna be able to do that. But I'm glad I got to experience this beautiful game and I got to play it. I actually played it on Xbox Game Pass, but I think I might just buy it just to support them. This game is something. Yeah, about it. I mean, it's another video saying this game is amazing, but what can I say? It's just because this game is actually amazing. Um, enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed the game, please leave a thumbs up. Just let me know in the comments what was your favorite part of the game. My favorite part probably is the music and the ambience and how it like allowed me to actually get lost in the game, which this is kind of something you can't like tell why, but my explanation of it is it's like a mixture of music and the way the game looks and feels. It's very immersive, and that's probably my favorite part. Um, Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever, and I'll see you in the next video.